Hello guys, today we're going to be working on this front load Samsung washer. The complaint is that it's leaking water, and as you can see in this footage, you can see where the water is dripping down all the way to the floor. It also leaks all the way across the front panel, and the model number it's on the display. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. We're going to start by removing the two Phillips screws that are holding this top panel on this front load Samsung washer. And we're going to find out why it's leaking in front of the washer. Everything looks like the leak is coming from the dispenser drawer, which is this one right here. We're going to push this panel back and remove it out of the way. And then we're going to remove these three screws that are holding the bucket. As you can see right here, I'm already removing the three screws and then wiggling it to be able to put it out. Then you're going to grab a needle nose and push these clamps back. I'm going to do this video kind of fast, so I'm going to speed it up. Be careful with sharp edges, so wear like a long sleeves or long gloves. That way you prevent from scratching yourself or basically cutting yourself around. Wiggle it out of the way, and then we're going to have another dispensing hose in the bottom of the bucket. Then you're going to go ahead, and this one is very easy to move it out of the way. Just use your hand and press the clip and then remove the clamp out of the way, and then just wiggle the big hose out. After you remove this hose, then it's going to be another one on the other side, like you see right there. Just wiggle it out and it will come right out. Then it's another one, a little one right there. Already got it off, and then the bucket will come right out. As you can see right here, I got the bucket out, and what I found that it was leaking from all the way around. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you the original audio from this footage. That way I explain a little bit better. So you remove this clip from this side, and then remove this clip, and this clip from this side, and this top comes off, and then you put silicone around there and put the cover back on, and then just fill with silicone all the way around. I put some on the top over here, as you can see, and then put all the way around here. When you put that silicone there, just put the cover back on, and it should seal all the way around. One of the areas that was leaking the most, it was around here, and as you see, put silicone there. It's all sealed all the way around. And just to be on the safe side, I put silicone in the first section of those holes because it looked like they're too close to the edge, and that's how I prevent the water from splash out, because this goes like this. Okay, the reason why I put silicone on the first line right here is because when I was doing some testing, I'm sorry I didn't have that on my camera because it wasn't recording, but then the first line of this dispenser water hoses, it was splashing too much water in front of the dispenser drawer. So I assumed that was one of the reasons, but then I find out that it was leaking here in the back as well. So I put silicone all the way around. So you remove the cover and then put it back on. But then I find some other reasons why it could be leaking as well, and it was a persistent leak that the water valve wasn't shutting down all the way when the machine was finished. So it was still water coming in the bucket all the time, and that's the reason why it was water on the floor most of the time. So it was more than one reason why this washer machine was dripping water down to the floor. Now I don't know if it was a gasket missing around this bucket, but I tried to order the bucket brand new and it was out of order, and in some places they were saying that it was discontinued. So what I had to do is remove the top cover by removing the clip like I told you in the previous footage, and then put silicone all the way around, because in the back area of the bucket, when the water valve was sending water, it was splashing water out in the back, and then it was another leak basically in the back of the bucket Then it was a leak in the front of the bucket as well every time the water valve sends water in. That's why I put silicone all the way around the bucket, and also silicone on the first line of the hoses inside the bucket, just to prevent any reason why this bucket it was splashing water in the front of the washer, because the customer said that it was water all the time in the floor. So after that, I installed the bucket back in place, and now I'm gonna go ahead and install the supply water hoses in here. Like I said before, you have to be careful with these water hoses. When you remove the clamp, sometimes you have to take pictures, because you might forget where the water hoses were situated. It's very easy to get confused, so always take pictures before you remove the water hoses. As you can see right there, I was watching my phone and to try to figure out where each hose is going to, because they go to a different direction. You cannot just put it anywhere. To prevent any electric shock, go ahead and disconnect the washer. And I can see those water hoses are kind of old, and I don't want to have any issues by closing those water valves, because sometimes when you close the water valves in the house, the water supply in the house, they will start leaking, or they will open and not close, or they will close and not open. And the customer told me that they had issues before with them, and I'm not taking any chances. I'm putting the clamps back on here. At the beginning of the video, I speed up this process, but putting it back, I'm leaving it at the right speed, because I want you guys to have a little bit more details in how to put these clamps. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove these connections from the water hoses, because like I told you, it was a persistent leak. So it was water going inside this dispenser bucket all the time. And that could be another reason why it was always leaking, even when the washing machine was off. So I decided to replace the water valves. The reason why it was leaking, it was because the cold side was letting water going inside the bucket, even when the washing machine was off. And I want to remove any possibilities that this could keep happening. Also, the customer said that it was always water inside the washer as well, and this is the reason why. So if you have water in your washer machine after you finish washing, and then a couple of days after you want to wash some more clothes and there's water there, you have to replace this water valves. So basically, I'm fixing more than one issue here on this repair. So you can use this video to repair any water leaks in the front of the washer machine, and also if you have a persistent leak that is keeping water inside your washer machine after you finish washing, and you see water 2 days after just sitting in your washer machine. Now, to remove these water hoses, like I told you before, I didn't put any details at the beginning of the video, but you can see right here how sometimes it's kind of difficult to pull them out. And this is why I always told you, go ahead and wear long sleeves, because when you push this back, you don't know where your arm is gonna hit in the back, so you can get hit by those clamps in the back and scratch yourself or cut yourself, and we don't want that to happen. Just take all the precautions. And also there are sharp edges everywhere. See how I'm basically breaking the water hose from the plastic, because sometimes it will not move at all. So you have to move it sideways with the pliers or channel locks, break it loose, and then go ahead and start moving back and forth, up and down, until it comes right out. This is where I show you with a little bit more details in how to remove these water hoses. A lot of people ask me why I don't leave the original audio, and I don't know if you can hear, but it's kids yelling in the back and things like that, and sometimes there's dogs barking, and I don't like to put that on the video. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the 3 screws that we removed to be able to get this bucket out. And over here, what I'm gonna do is, just to be on the safe side, like I said, I don't know if it was a gasket here before I didn't find any gasket. I don't know if somebody else worked on this machine before, but I didn't find any gasket. Just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and put silicone on front of this area as well, just to take more precaution and make sure it's not going to leak for the customer. And if it does, it's not going to leak inside the washer. It's going to come out on the front, and then the customer will able to see where it's leaking from, and he will call me right away. Now, just so you know, I have done this repair a couple months ago, and we haven't received any callbacks from this repair. So this repair was a success. And then over here, I'm just, making sure the silicone went in the gap. And now what I'm gonna do is replace the water valves. Like I told you before, I don't like to mess with the water valve, because sometimes when you close it, it doesn't want to open back up, or when you open it doesn't want to close it. So what I do is I kink it right here to interrupt the water flow. But basically what I'm trying to say there is that I don't like to mess with the water valves from the house if they are old or they have issues. And I do it this way. I put my vice grips in the water hose. A lot of people said that damaged the water hose too, but then we have to choose which one we want to do. So over here, we are removing the two Phillips screws that holds the water valve, and then you have to do like a twist, because the water valve has like a little house in there. So you have to twist it, and then it will come right out. This is the new water valves. You can find this part in a link in the description of this video. So if you need to order this part, you have the same model number. Go ahead and click the link in the description of this video, and then it will take you to buy this water valve. You want to find there the OEM parts and the aftermarket. You decide which one you're gonna get. Now, I use both. I use OEMs and I use aftermarket. And when it comes to water valves, I can tell you, you can choose either one because they both work fine. So it's your choice. Now, keep in mind that the aftermarket are more affordable than the OEMs. And over here, I'm replacing the cold side. Sometimes you have to use like a little screwdriver to make it fit, because it might give you a little hard time in the housing, but that's about it. Now I'm putting the water hose back. And one of the things that happens with this aftermarket, that the hose thread right here sometimes is more tight. So in a way it's better because it's tight when you threaten it, but sometimes you have to do a little more twisting all the way in. That's all you got to do. Just keep going until you feel that it's very tight, but be careful, don't over tighten it, because this water hose has a gasket inside, and then if you over tighten it, you can break that gasket, and then you will have another issue. You're gonna have to replace the water hoses. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm replacing the hot side. Why I'm replacing the hot side if it wasn't giving any issue? One, because sometimes they sell it as a pack for both of them, the cold side, which is a dual, and the hot side, which is a single. As you can see, the cold side has 2 solenoids and the hot side only got 1 solenoid. But sometimes they sell it as a pack, or I decided to replace both because I have many times replaced only the cold side or only the hot side, and a week after, 2 weeks after, the other one gives out, and that is more for the customer, because we have to come back again, and that's basically another repair. So the price is very affordable if you buy them aftermarket or OEM as well, because the most expensive one is the cold side. So I recommend to go ahead and replace both, just to be on the safe side. That way you don't have to pay 2 repairs back to back. So as you can see right there, I already connect the electrical wires on the terminals, And over here, I'm doing the same thing that I've done on the cold side. So just go ahead and do the twist, and that should be okay and good to go. Over here is pretty simple, but again, take pictures all the time. That way you remember exactly where you can connect these water hoses, and then go ahead and put the clamps back on. I always use or either a needle nose pliers or a channel locks to get these clamps back in place with no issues. As you can see right there, just clamp it, move it close, and then use your needle nose to get it back in place. Just make sure it grabs where it's supposed to, and that should do the trick. Now this is the cold side, and now we are doing the hot side. So just remember, guys, the reason why this was leaking, it was because 3 reasons. For some reason, the front line of the hoses on the bucket was splashing too much water. I don't know why, and it was splashing water on front of the washer. Then the water valve, the cold side, was having a persistent leak even when the washer machine was off or even disconnected. And the other reason is because the bucket all the way around was splashing water when water was coming into the bucket. So if you want to remove any possibilities for this to happen again, this is all you got to do. Again, I have done this video a couple months ago, and the customer was very happy with it. We never received any callbacks, and everything that we have done on this repair, it did work to prevent any water from splashing in front of the washer. You can see all the water residuals in the bottom of the front panel or the display. You can see all the marks of the water, leaking all the way across there. I will remove these screws, but this screws was not necessary to remove. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to remove those screws. I thought it was necessary because in other models you have to remove the front panel, but not in this one. This is how everything looks. Look, all the water that was dripping when it was water coming in. So now I'm trying everything. This is the original Ariel, and now I'm putting this panel back in place. Go ahead and push it in. As is where you have to sit it, in the back, and then push it all the way to the front until it sits in place. And when you remove it, the same, you remove the 2 screws in the back, and then you push the panel back to be able to get it out. Now you put the 2 screws that holds the top panel, and that's it. All right, guys, if this video helped you in any way, you can show us appreciation by giving us a tip using the following options that you see on the screen. If you cannot provide with a tip, is another way to support this channel by just dropping off a comment in the comment section down below. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the bell to receive notifications. Thanks for watching.